Give us some basic advice, Rule, that you can give men who are struggling to find a woman and why they are struggling.
It's going to be the most basic advice, but probably the best advice any guy will ever have that actually has been suffering. And when I say suffering, it's a different kind of suffering if you're not getting on easily with a girl. I go into a restaurant and I see a guy and a girl, they're on a date, they're talking. And he is doing all the talking. And he's talking, and he's talking, and he's trying to qualify himself so that she thinks he's a great guy. Biggest mistake. What I do always, I tell the guys, you need to ask a girl 5 questions. Now I'm not going to tell you all the questions, but one of them is obviously you want to find out how compatible you are. If you meet someone that is got a different, if you're like a fast speaker and you're talking loud, you're not going to meet a quiet, docile little girl and get on. She's not going to like you. So there's compatibility also that, and often what happens is 2 people, one gets fascinated and the other one doesn't. But getting back to the word listening, ask the girl enough questions about herself, and not like, okay, where do you work and all of that. That will come eventually. You're going to ask her questions about, what she enjoys in life, what does she do in her off time, what makes her tick. Because people get together, they get engaged and married, and then he goes and plays soccer and she doesn't like him to do, stuff like that. Or she wants her off time with her friends to go, drinking coffee, or she wants to go to church and he doesn't want to go to church. But they never discussed that before. So ask lots of questions. And if she gets excited about your interest in her and the questions, you're also figuring out whether you're going to like this or not, if this is going to work for you. You've got to figure out what her value system is, because we all got different values. And we put different things on different levels for at different times. And if what her values are not working with yours, if you're the one that wants to go to church and she doesn't care, she rather smoke marijuana on Sundays, then you're not gonna have it work out. So ask enough questions. Then thereafter, if she doesn't ask you questions back, then you're already in trouble. You're not going to take this a minute longer. You've already spent 5 or 10 minutes, and you're not going to waste another 5 minutes, 5 months, 5 years of your life with that person that you've just been fascinated, because you're only fascinated by the outward appearance, and looks deceive big time. And then what I tell the guys is, if she's qualified with a few questions you've given her, then you can then take the conversation further, and she should be so fascinated with you that she should ask your number. That's how interested she must be. I know it's probably the right thing for a guy to ask a girl's number, but I would say not in all cases. But if she doesn't ask you questions back, don't even carry on with that conversation, because we know that your values, her values are now way, way different. And if you feel too shy to say goodbye or to walk away, pretend that your phone is ringing and say, and walk away. There's ways you can excuse yourself to avoid your own embarrassment. And believe me, not every person that you meet will be perfect, or the perfect one. There will be a 15 to 85% compatibility at some point in time. Then nobody's ever going to be that great. Yeah. Neither are you going to be that great.